Yeah, certainly emotional. I guess being back in Mumbai is always quite special, and it's a place I call home as well. So having the opportunity to play out here again is quite special. And to be honest, after my TENFA, I wasn't sure whether I'd get another opportunity to play out here again throughout my career. So I'm very grateful that the BCCI have scheduled a game out here, and I get to be back home again for a little while.
Yeah, you and which are live bowlers, term spinners, what sort of conversations do between you two when they are actually playing match?
Yeah, we actually have a lot of communication. I guess we talk about how the wicket's responding, what certain deliveries are working, and what's turning more, and what the right pace is for the surface and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think while we are left-arm spinners, I think we both offer different kind of skill sets, and so we try and operate based on our strengths. But at the same time, there are a lot of things that kind of cross over, and we make sure we speak about those things while we're out in the middle.
Hi. If you could take us through about the mood in the camp over the last few days of it's been a historic series been here, and what has been the thing like, and how you, as a unit, what was the impression that you get about the wicket?
I guess when you talk about the mood, we have to be pretty happy. Coming to India, we know how tough a task it is to win against India at home, let alone win a series. So to be able to do that has been very, very special, and it's certainly taken a whole team effort to be able to do that. And we've played some very, very good cricket over the last kind of couple of weeks, and I guess moving forward into this game, it's really important that we start again and really forget about what's gone behind us, and kind of put that to bed so that we can focus on the task in front of us. I guess looking at the wicket and having played here before, you know that red soil is going to offer you a bit more pace and a bit more bounce, and it'll definitely turn. It's just a matter of when, and it's just kind of waiting and seeing how that kind of pans out, whether it turns early or whether it turns a bit later on in the game. That's until the first ball's bowled, we won't know. So it's just waiting and seeing, but at the same time, it's just being very, very clear on what your plans look like on that particular surface. And I think we're shaping up well and we're preparing well, so it's just a matter of kind of getting out there and putting our best foot forward again.
Compared to your previous tour to India to 2021, do you find any difference when bowling Indian batsmen, especially to their
To be honest, not so much. I guess the skill sets are quite similar. Obviously, every player grows over a period of time, and I guess Virat Bhai, his games continue to grow and improve, and likewise we as a bowling unit, we've continued to grow and improve, and so it's just different challenges at different times, different kind of skill sets, and so it's really about kind of adapting to those and kind of continuing to, I guess, shift with the game. The modern game is moving very, very quickly, and especially Test cricket, it's completely changed. Gone are the days where as a bowler you could go at 2.5 and over, and now if you do that, you've had an unbelievable day. So I'd be pretty happy if I went at that, but I think it's very, very likely.
Just back to the word. Yeah.
Yeah, I just looking at the cycle from the last time you played over there and then you played on, how has been this period for you coming back to one cricket this time? How was it dealing with the pressure of expectations?
I think as a professional sports person, I guess you learn to deal with the weight of expectation and the pressure. It's really about staying in the present. I think the best way to deal with pressure is not putting too much on yourself, and it's, I guess, looking at the task that's ahead of you, preparing well, and then I guess going out there and trying to execute the best that you can. And yes, obviously there's going to be pressure out in the middle. There's going to be opposition batters that are trying to, I guess, challenge you as well. So at the same time, it's about kind of being very clear and being in the moment and making sure that you are actually consciously thinking of where that game's going and what you're trying to do.
Hello. Sorry. Having done the medical side, right? Besides the inputs, also watching bowl as many balls as he does the best. How important is that for you? And as a batting unit, when you are, do you think he playing against him also does improve batting unit when you come to the end?
Oh well, he's one of the greatest left-arm spinners in the world that's kind of, you know, played for a long, long time. So certainly is quite special having him around with us. And I guess when you come to the subcontinent, he's very familiar with the conditions as well and what to expect. And I guess more importantly around, you know, the dynamics of setting the right fields for certain individuals. And so it's been fantastic having him around and just bouncing ideas off him. But yeah, and the batters love facing him because, you know, some of our younger guys would have never had the opportunity to face him. So it's an exciting, I guess, challenge, and they love seeing, you know, his skill set and what he brought to the game and stuff like that. So it's quite cool, and I guess there's a bit of nostalgia there as well to, you know, be able to face someone of his caliber.
There's obviously traditionally fast bowling has been New Zealand's strength, but now from the spin perspective, you see there are all bases covered. Given the problems that the Indian batters have had against the turning ball of game, do you, obviously individually but also collectively, do you relish actually playing on a ground track?
Good question. I think India still have, you know, the wood on us when it comes to playing on turning wickets, and traditionally the Indian batters have, I guess, done well in turning surfaces, and obviously they haven't had maybe as much success as they would have liked in this series so far, but they're certainly an opposition that are very, very skilled and not the easiest to come up against. Their skill set is very vast, and I guess for us, it's, as a spin group especially, it's about being able to control what we can control and making sure that we can apply pressure for long periods of time, and making sure that we're delivering the best balls on a given surface. And so it's really for us about continuing to challenge them. I think certainly as a batter, it's not easy out there when you're kind of facing a ball that's turning as much. And so it's about us making sure we put the balls in good areas for long periods of time. On the flip side, India have got phenomenal spinners, so our batters are trying to do the opposite, and they're trying to create opportunities to score runs. So yeah, it's about kind of a give and take a little bit, and making sure that, you know, you're putting your best foot forward and adapting to the individuals that are in front of you.
Just post your time on here, how much did life change in these 3 years? I mean, were you a more recognizable face when you went to the supermarket in Israel or something like that?
No, to be honest, I don't think it's changed too much. It's still very much the same. I mean, I guess after the 10-for, I haven't really had as many opportunities to play, but at the same time, I mean, when you do get an opportunity to play, it is very special, and you're playing for your nation, you're playing for your country, so every time you get that opportunity, it's very, very special. So you never take it for granted. But yeah, I guess, you know, you get recognised a little bit more here and there, but certainly, I guess, you know, the craze for the sport, say, is probably not, you know, the same as India, like, in terms of the context of the number of people that are watching the sport. I mean, New Zealand is a massive sporting nation. We love our sport, and everyone gets around every sport, whether it be cricket, rugby, football, soccer. We're a small place, but we, you know, like to try and achieve beyond our means when it comes to sport. So anytime someone's playing sport, we're in and around them, and for us it's actually quite special to kind of go out there and represent the country.
Just the last couple.
Just talking from the perspective of preparation that one of said last week, that you basically postponed it. But given that in mind, there was a little bit of struggle, if you want to call it, because you got some wickets towards the end of the game, saying like Ravindra Jadeja for India, and both the comes with us, Santner kept chipping away the wickets. So what sort of running you took away from the bowling which was there? Because this one is a little different in the soil composition and all that.
Yeah, look, I mean, I guess it's also looking at what roles you're playing for the team when it comes to a bowling perspective. Obviously, Mitch was bowling exceptionally well from the other end. So for me, it was really important that from my end, while I'm still trying to take wickets, I'm also, I guess, performing the holding role and trying to restrict as many runs as possible so that the game or the pressure doesn't come back on us, and we kind of control that momentum. But at the same time, the way that Mitch was bowling, there was no real need for me to try too many things, and it was about trying to keep it as simple as possible. And once again, going into a new surface and a new game, that may completely flip again. And it's just assessing the conditions that are out in the middle, and I guess seeing who's getting what from which end. And sometimes also, when it comes to, I guess, Test cricket and playing in the subcontinent, sometimes one end can offer a bit more than the other. So it's understanding that if you're bowling from the end that is offering a bit, you're probably playing a bit more of an attacking role. But if you're bowling from the other end, you may be playing a little bit more of a holding role. So it's really adapting to the surface and getting to understand what the surface is doing, and then I guess trying to achieve what is the best thing for the team at that given time. But yeah, I mean, for me, from last game, it continues to be the same. It's about keeping it simple and keeping it very, very basic in terms of allowing the surface to do the work for you, operating at the right pace for the surface, and then the right seam position and the right angles, and then letting the wicket do the rest of the work.
I just mobile being predominantly a red soil surface, tactically how you change plans, we expect both the fielders to have more of a role to play in the game, and from the time we played last test year, before the ball is bowled, does it resemble the same red surface?
To be honest with you, my memory is very poor, so I don't exactly remember the surface that well, but one thing I do remember was it looked a lot drier to start with. But in saying that, we're still 2 days out from the game. So last time we were here, we didn't see the pitch till the day of the game. So it is going to change over the next couple of days, and it'll be interesting to see what it looks like by the time we get around to game time. But certainly we know that the red soil can offer a bit more pace and a bit more bounce. So it's, I guess, accepting that and knowing, that you may be bowling with a bit more overspin or a bit more side spin to get different results, and then it's just kind of using that to your advantage.